anniversary GCB.
I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate GCB on its 70th anniversary. I wish continued success in the years to come.
We pray that GCB Bank will continue to grow in leaps and bounds, continue to provide excellent financial services to their numerous customers. Here is wishing you many more years of growth, many more years of industry leadership. Happy 70th anniversary.
And I'm taking this opportunity to congratulate the management of GCB for their 70th anniversary. But I still believe that there are more potential within the market which they are yet to explore. So they need to do more. And I take the opportunity to say AICO for everything that they are doing for their customers.
GCB is a leading bank. I feel very secure. They are very proactive. I like working with GCB. It's a bank that has been in the system for a long time. So celebrating 70 years means 70 years of trust, 70 years of reliability. So it is very safe for me to save and continue to work with GCB.
On the event of their 70th anniversary, as we go along, I wish them the very best, and I hope that on their way to dominance as they keep soaring, we'll reach there together.
Happy 70th anniversary! Hip hip hip! Hooray! GCB Bank, your bank for life.
For about 3 years now.
Since 2012.
Long time, the inception, yeah. 40 years now.
For the past 10 years.
20 years.
More than 10 years. Since 2019.
I've been in GCB Bank for over 10 years.
Since 2001.
Just to continue the way you guys do, I think so far I don't have any complaints. I'm super happy with everything.
We are one of the best. This is the IT world. Make you use of that more, and then you can become the top bank in Ghana and even extend.
Exuberance. Show more energy in whatever you do.
Happy 70th anniversary. Happy 70th anniversary.
Happy birthday, GCB.
Happy anniversary, Mom. 70 years. Happy birthday.
Wish you the best, that all things work together for your good.
Nyami Mom, continue. Oma Jumani Nyakesi. Mu Nina, Nyami Shiramu, Nyamasifu Nina.
For about 3 years now.
If I can remember, it's more than 25 years.
Long time, the inception, yeah.
I think for the past 20 years.
Almost 25 good years now.
40 years now.
For the past 10 years.
A month now.
20 years.
20 years. More than 10 years.
I can't really tell the exact years. I was 18 years.
I've started with GCB when I was in the military. I was a corporal.
Since 2019.
I've been in GCB Bank for over 10 years.
With the Connection Industrial Area branch, anytime I call the manager, he's ever ready to assist. I don't need to drive here.
We've had many great experiences with the staff, the branch manager as well. My father got sick a while back and the branch manager and the staff reached out to us, made sure that his accounts and affairs were being taken care of. And frankly,
it's been lovely. I always get great customer service and everyone is very helpful to me, so I'm very satisfied with that.
I couldn't have found a better bank to work with.
For about 3 years now.
Since 2012.
Long time, the inception. Yeah. 40 years now.
For the past 10 years.
20 years. More than 10 years. Since 2019.
I've been in GCB Bank for over 10 years.
Since 2001.
Just to continue the way you guys do, I think so far I don't have any complaints. I'm super happy with everything.
We are one of the best. This is the IT world. Make you use of that more, and then you can become the top bank in Ghana and even extend.
Exuberance. Show more energy in whatever you do.
Happy 70th anniversary.
Happy 70th anniversary.
Happy birthday, GCB.
Happy anniversary, Mom. 70 years. Happy birthday.
Wish you the best, that all things work together for your good.
Nyami Mom continue. Mama ejumani nye kesiye. Mu nyina nyami shira mu ne wasifu nyina.
Hooray! GCB is 70 years old. From Bank of the Gold Coast to Ghana Commercial Bank, and now GCB Bank. Today, GCB Bank has over 186 branches across the nation. With GCB, our customers are priority, right from SMEs, salaried workers to large institutions.
Yeah, Kairos Corporate Communication, congratulating every staff of GCB Bank PLC across the country. Through you, countless opportunities have been created, dreams have been made to come alive and true. We must say we are super privileged to be associated with GCB Bank PLC and its wonderful people. We wish you greatness in the years ahead as you continue impacting generations. Happy Platinum Anniversary, GCB Bank PLC.
I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate GCB on its 70th anniversary. I wish continued success in the years to come.
We pray that GCB Bank will continue to grow in leaps and bounds, continue to provide excellent financial services to their numerous customers. Here is wishing you many more years of growth, many more years of industry leadership. Happy 70th anniversary.
And I'm taking this opportunity to congratulate the management of GCB for their 70th anniversary. But I still believe that there are more potential within the market which they are yet to explore. So they need to do more. And I take the opportunity to say AICO for everything that they are doing for their customers.
GCB is a leading bank. I feel very secure. They are very proactive. I like working with GCB. It's a bank that has been in the system for a long time. So celebrating 70 years means 70 years of trust, 70 years of reliability. So it is very safe for me to save and continue to work with GCB.
On the event of their 70th anniversary, as we go along, I wish them the very best, and I hope that on their way to dominance as they keep soaring, we'll reach there together.
Happy 70th anniversary. Hip, 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 hooray! GCB Bank, your bank for life.
For about 3 years now.
Since 2012.
Long time, the inception. Yeah. 40 years now.
For the past 10 years.
20 years. More than 10 years. Since 2019.
I've been in GCB Bank for over 10 years.
Since 2001.
Just to continue the way you guys do, I think so far I don't have any complaints. I'm super happy with everything.
We are one of the best. This is the IT world. Make you use of that more, and then you can become the top bank in Ghana and even extend.
Exuberance. Show more energy in whatever you do.
Happy 70th anniversary.
Happy 70th anniversary.
Happy birthday, GCB.
Happy anniversary, Mom. 70 years. Happy birthday.
Wish you the best. That all things work together for your good.
Nyami Mom continue. Mama ejumani nye kesiye. Mu nyina nyami shira mu ne wasifu nyina.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure once again to welcome you to the 29th Annual General Meeting of your bank, GCB Bank PLC, which I now declare open. I think before I go to the requirements of quorum, as is our tradition, can I please ask one of the owners of the company to lead us in the opening prayer?
Times and seasons are in your hands, O Lord. And today marks the 29th AGM of GCB Bank PLC. Father, we ask that you take absolute control of this meeting to the glory and adoration of your holy name, and also to make GCB to grow from strength to strength and for greater heights. We entrust the board chairman, the directors, and management into your capable hands. And we pray that you grant them the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of excellence, the spirit of knowledge and understanding, the spirit of counsel and innovation, that they'll be able to bring the bank to a leading bank in all their markets. Holy Father, we want you to do it once more for all to see and know and understand that this is you, the Lord's hand, that has done it. We ask all this in the precious name of Jesus Christ, our Lord, Master, and Savior. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much for the prayer. The quorum required under Section 74 of the company's constitution has been secured. Please let me take this opportunity to introduce directors of the bank present at this meeting to all of you shareholders. I have with me the Managing Director of the bank, Mr. John Kofi Adomako. I have also Mr. Socrates Afram, Deputy Managing Director of Finance, Mr. Emmanuel Lamte, Deputy Managing Director Operations, Mr. Samuel Edu, Executive Director Wholesale and Investment Banking. Ladies and gentlemen, with us also are the non-executive directors. We have towards my right, Mrs. Lydia Essa, non-executive director, and Nana Ama Ayensua Sarah III. And we have Mr. Francis Arthur Collins, Mr. Osmani Ayuba, Mr. Ray Ankra, Mr. Daniel Asrifi, and Honorable Dr. Stephen Amwa. And also with us is Al-Haji Al-Hassan Yakubu. We also have the company secretary on my immediate right, Ama A. Kusiapo, and our external auditors, Messrs. Deloitte and Touche, on the extreme left-hand side of the podium, to confirm the auditor's opinion on the accounts of the bank for the year under review. In a very odd structure, I am Jude Kofi Arthur, Chair of the Board of your bank. Ladies and gentlemen, the bank has created an AGM portal, a platform that gives shareholders relevant information on the virtual AGM, which include the following, among others. 1, notice of the annual general meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now present my report, which can be found on pages 25 to 28 of the annual report. I'm supposed to go there. Oh. Yeah, very well. Thank you very much. Can you please all confirm if you can see my head above the podium? Very well. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I welcome you once again to the annual general meeting of your company, GCB Bank, PLC. The year 2022 that we are reviewing started very well, with a continued focus on our strategy to derive revenue and profitable growth, enhance the resilience of our balance sheet, and reinforce the core strengths of the bank. In the latter part of the year, specifically on the 5th of December 2022, the government of Ghana launched the Domestic Debt Exchange Program, DDEP, as part of efforts to address the economic crisis and bring the country's debt to sustainable levels. Under the DDEP, the government invited specific holders of domestic notes and bonds issued by the government of Ghana to exchange them for a package of new bonds with lower coupons and longer tenors. This program, which is intended to pave the way and lay a sound foundation for economic recovery, also had a significant impact on the economy and on the financial performance of banks that participated in the program, including your bank, GCB Bank. Despite this challenge, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to inform you that your bank remains a viable business with distinctive competitive advantages in the marketplace. Your bank has strong fundamentals and significant potential for future growth and value creation for its shareholders. Please permit me at this time to touch briefly on the global economic environment, how it has impacted the Ghanaian economy and our operating environment, and then take some time to share key highlights of a robust and comprehensive capital plan authorized by the board to address the challenges posed by the DDEP. I will also update you on our financial performance for 2022 and our strategic priorities going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, this year also marks the 70th anniversary of your bank. In this report, I shall apprise you of our all-inclusive framework for celebrating our anniversary. On the global economy, developments in the global environment weighed in heavily on economic growth, resulting in a decline from 6.2% in 2021 to 3.4% in 2022. Some of the factors contributing to the decline include rising energy and commodity prices, record levels of inflation, and turnaround in interest rate policy around the world. The devastating impact of COVID-19 in China also dampened growth in 2022. According to the International Monetary Fund, growth is projected to decline further to 2.8% in 2023. The balance of risks to global growth in 2023 remains tilted to the downside. Severe health outcomes in China could hold back economic recovery, and along with other geopolitical fragmentation and tightened global financing conditions, hamper economic progress. On the upside, however, a stronger boost from pent-up demand in numerous economies or a faster fall in inflation are plausible. China's recent lifting of COVID restrictions has also paved the way for a faster than expected recovery. These external developments had a profound impact on our domestic economy. The combined effect of the adverse external events exposed our country, Ghana, to a surge in inflation, a large exchange rate depreciation, and stress on the financing of government budgets at a time when the economy was just beginning to recover from the pandemic. It is worth noting that global risk aversion triggered large capital outflows, and the loss of external market access resulted in increased domestic costs. Ghana's gross domestic products growth rate declined to 3.1% in 2022 from 5.1% in 2021. The observed growth overturn was driven by the services and agri sectors, with a growth of 4.2% and 5.5% respectively. Inflation remained elevated in 2022 as a result of demand pressures, currency depreciation, transport, utility costs, and supply disruptions. Inflation recorded a significant jump to 54.1% in December 2022 from 12.6% in December the previous year. Interest rates on the money market increased in tandem with inflation across the yield curve. The monetary policy rate shot up by 1,250 basis points, up to 27% from 14.5% in December 2021. The local currency, the Ghana cedi, came under intense pressure in the year under review, reflecting portfolio reversals, lower foreign direct investment inflows, and enhanced demand pressures. This resulted in significant depreciation of the Ghana cedi against the world's major currencies. For the year 2022, the Ghana cedi depreciated by 30% against the US dollar. Depreciation of the cedi to the dollar was 4.1% in 2021. To address the above challenges and position the economy on a recovery path, the DDEP was launched as part of a comprehensive agenda by the Ghana government to protect the economy and enhance our capacity to service public debt at sustainable levels. On the banking industry, total assets of the industry stood at 209.4 billion in December 2022, representing a growth of 16.4%, attributable to growth in deposits and currency translation effects. Total credit increased by 28.5% to 69.1 billion in December 2022, from 53.8 billion in December the previous year. Total deposits stood at 157.9 billion, representing an increase of 30.4% year-on-year, compared with 16.6% recorded during the same period in 2021. The DDEP resulted in significant impairment losses on investments in government securities and consequently a deterioration in the capital position of banks in the country. In order to mitigate the impact on the banking sector, the Bank of Ghana introduced regulatory forbearance on capital for banks. The minimum capital adequacy ratio required to be maintained by banks was reduced from 13% to 10% as of December 31st, 2022. And losses from the DDEP are to be reflected in the computation of capital adequacy ratio over a period of up to 3 years. The average capital adequacy ratio for the industry was 15.7% in December 2022, but this was largely supported by the regulatory reliefs, compared with 16.6% as of 2021 December without the DDEP and any regulatory reliefs. Our financial performance for the year 2022. The implementation of our strategy resulted in strong quarterly financial performance. However, the DDEP significantly affected our full-year financial results for 2022. The bank generated a record revenue of 3.0 billion, representing an increase of 24%, or 578.2 million compared to 2021. This growth was mainly driven by 11% increase in net interest income and a 7% rise in net fees and commissions. Net trading income was up by 209%, largely from margins from foreign exchange trading on account of currency volatility. The net interest income contributed 70% of our income, of our total revenue, with the non-interest income accounting for the remaining 30%. Operating expenses increased by 29%, largely due to CD depreciation against the dollar and the surge in inflation to 54.1% from 12.6%. These resulted in a cost-to-income ratio of 54.4% in 2022 compared to 52.6% in 2021. The bank, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage I have to wipe my forehead. The bank recorded a loss before tax of 743 million in 2022 compared to a profit before tax of 832 million in the previous year. This loss is largely due to the impairment loss on investment in government securities of 1.8 billion. It is worth noting that our projected profit for the year 2022 without the impairment would have been in excess of 1 billion Ghana cedis. Together with this, our customer deposits grew by 28% from 13.9 billion in 2021 to 17.8 billion in 2022. We are grateful for the business of our cherished customers. Our balance sheet remains strong, growing from 18.4 billion in 2021 to 21.5 billion in 2022. Total equity of the bank declined by 39% from 2.7 billion in 2021 to just about 2 billion in 2022 on the back of impaired investments in securities resulting from the DDEP. Turning to the stock market, during the year, the Ghana Stock Exchange GSE Composite Index depreciated by 12.38%, whilst the GSE Financial Stock Index declined by 4.61%. Our bank's share price also declined by 24.81% in 2022 and closed the year at 3 cedis and 94 pesos from 5 cedis and 24 pesos in 2021. This is also a reflection of the general market performance for the year under review. Ladies and gentlemen, I will talk a bit on the debt exchange program. But I would like, first of all, to make a statement that all the options we considered under the debt exchange program was underpinned by one factor, that all businesses operating in this country have a stake in the recovery of the Ghanaian economy. And it is against this background that we evaluated the program, focusing on the best options open to us. The DDEP was an invitation for the voluntary exchange of about 130 billion Ghana cedis of the domestic bonds of the Republic of Ghana for a package of new bonds with lower coupons and longer tenors. The program, part of a comprehensive strategy aimed at bringing the public debt stock back to sustainable levels and to unlock financial assistance from the International Monetary Fund. Your bank exchanged a total amount of 6.784 billion, being the value of eligible bonds under the DDEP. Under international financial reporting standards, shortfalls in the recoverable amounts of financial assets are required to be reflected in the income statement as an impairment charge. Your bank's participation in the DDEP resulted in an impairment loss of 1.8 billion Ghana cedis for the year. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the adequate buildup of retained earnings in the past, GCB was able to absorb this impairment loss and maintain an adequate capital buffer with regulatory forbearance. In reviewing our options, the board weighed the risks attached to the new bonds and noted the potential of illiquidity in the market for bonds which were subject to be exchanged. Against this background and the relevance of the DDEP as a critical component of the debt reduction program and the IMF program, we concluded that participation in the DDEP was in the best long-term interest of the bank and its shareholders. The bank accordingly participated in the DDEP to preserve value to shareholders, reinforce its competitive advantage, and secure the future of the bank. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will apprise you of our proposal, our response to the DDEP. As I've said, the DDEP adversely impacted on the bank's capital adequacy ratio due to the impairment loss of 1.8 billion for the year. Excluding the adjustment related to the regulatory capital forbearance, your bank's capital adequacy was 7.59% at the end of December 2022, compared to a prudential limit of 13%. This reflects a significant decline in the capital adequacy ratio at the end of September 2022 of 17.7%. The reported capital adequacy ratio at the end of 2022, because of capital forbearance for the bank, was 17.86%. The Bank of Ghana, as part of measures to mitigate the impact of the DDEP on the banking sector, has suspended dividends until further notice. In compliance with this regulatory directive, your directors are unable to recommend dividend for the year 2022. In order to address the impact of the DDEP, the bank has developed a robust and comprehensive capital plan. The immediate priority of the bank reflected in this capital plan is to rebuild capital, further strengthen our liquidity while we continue to boost our earning generation capacity, especially from non-funded business. Based on the capital plan, we will be seeking your support to raise additional capital of 1 billion Ghana cedis to meet the regulatory capital adequacy ratio requirements, to enhance our deal-making capacity and take advantage of opportunities available to the bank while preserving our core strengths, and to strengthen access to funding markets and bolster confidence in the bank. And finally, to support targeted and prioritized investments in digital transformation and ultimately help drive our business strategy. Following a review of the risk appetite and opportunities in our operating environment as part of the capital planning process, the board has concluded that it is important to maintain a capital adequacy ratio in excess of 14% by the end of 2023 and rebuild the ratio to at least 18% by 2025. The proposals put forward by the bank will or may entail some dilution to shareholders, particularly the proposals contained in the rights issue. However, in order to limit dilution and maintain a high quality and efficient capital structure, we are of the view that the most appropriate way to strengthen our capital base is through a combination of additional equity capital, internal capital generation through retention of profits, revaluation of landed property. Accordingly, the board will seek the approval of shareholders to raise additional equity capital of 1 billion by way of common equity tier 1 capital of 750 million Ghana cedis, and additional tier 1 capital of 250 million preference shares. Information on this capital raise and the relevant resolutions to be passed are contained in a shareholders' letter authored by the board to all shareholders to enable you apprise yourself of the problems and the stages that the board proposes to go through in resolving the matters. We urge all shareholders to support the proposals of your board. Ladies and gentlemen, in all these developments, we are committed to ensuring that your bank remains focused in its pursuit of its market dominance strategy. Over the last 2 years of the implementation of our market dominance strategy, we have distinguished ourselves with impressive growth in core business. I would like to share with you the key priorities we worked on in 2022, the progress we achieved, and highlight our outlook going forward. In order to ensure that we maintain our competitive advantage and generate sustainable returns, it is critical that we continue to invest in the future of the bank, especially in our digital transformation agenda, to enable us to exploit opportunities and address potential risks and challenges in our market environment. We have made good progress with regards to the implementation of our leadership and succession planning framework, which seeks to ensure that the bank has a pool of talent with relevant skills and capacity to support the market dominance strategy. During the year, we developed a best-in-class customer experience strategy for the bank, ensuring uniform banking services across all our touch points. Ladies and gentlemen, as we seek to strengthen risk management, enhance our operational resilience, and improve our service to clients, we will sustain our investment in key strategic areas, enhance our resilience, and improve our business risk complexion. Your bank has lived up to its commitment to the society in which we operate, and we have supported society, particularly in the areas of health, education, and environment. And during the year, we invested 21 million cedis in various initiatives across our focused areas of health, education, and environment to the communities in which we operate. Your board is committed to excellence in corporate governance. In line with best practice, the board regularly evaluates its effectiveness and that of its committees and ensures that our governance protocols are consistent with both the Bank of Ghana and the Securities and Exchange Commission directives, and is also in line with best industry practice. As I mentioned earlier, ladies and gentlemen, this year is a significant milestone of the bank, its 70th anniversary. The bank commenced its operations in 1953 as the then Bank of Gold Coast, BGC, to provide banking services. The bank was wholly owned by government until 1996, when it was restructured and listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Today, Government of Ghana owns 21.36% of the bank, while institutional and individual holdings add up to the remaining 78.64%. Over the years, Your bank's competitive position has continually improved, and it remains a leading bank with significant potential for sustainable and profitable growth. Our deep connection and commitment to the Ghanaian economy and the banking sector have guided all our activities for the last 7 decades. We have exhibited a sterling track record of creating value for our shareholders. We shall, during the anniversary celebration, recognize the contribution of all stakeholders who have been part of the success story of GCB Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, we are well positioned to take advantage of considerable growth opportunities in our environment. As we navigate an uncertain external environment in the year 2023 under an IMF program, Ghana's GDP growth rate is estimated to be low, but the country offers prospects and opportunities for sustainable and profitable growth in the years ahead. The board will continue to ensure an appropriate balance of investment and risk as we deliver on our mandate. I would like at this time to say a big thank you to you, our shareholders, for the trust you have placed in us and for your ongoing support of the bank. We are confident that our economy will bounce back and accordingly urge you to support the initiatives of the directors, please, and vote in favor of the proposed resolutions under the special business, as well as the ordinary business at the AGM, to place your bank in a stronger position to deliver on its mandate. I would like at this stage also to recognize our customers for their continued support and business. Their custom underpins our success. May I also, at this time, salute our management and staff for their dedication, diligence, and commitment to duty, which has no doubt seen the bank through its success periods. Your collective efforts, team spirit, and resilience have contributed immensely to delivering quality services and value to our customers and stakeholders during this difficult and challenging year. I would also at this time like to thank my colleagues on the board who have worked tirelessly in ensuring that our governance meets best industry practices and that we are able to deliver results within a competent risk framework. On behalf of the directors, I say to you all, thank you. I wish you a happy 70th anniversary, and thank you once again for the privilege of serving you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. I will now ask our external auditors, Deloitte, to read their report, which can be found on pages 65 to 71 of the annual report.
Good morning, shareholders. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Independent Auditors Report to the shareholders of GCB Bank PLC. And the report can be found on page 65 to 71. Mr. Chairman, shareholders, with your permission, I'll read an abridged version. Thank you. Report on the audit of the consolidated and separate financial statements. Opinion. We have audited the consolidated and separate financial statement of GCB Bank PLC and its subsidiary, together the bank and the group, set out on pages 72 to 173, which comprise the consolidated and separate statement of financial position as at 31st December 2022, and the consolidated and separate statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, consolidated and separate statement of changes in equity, and consolidated and separate statement of cash flows for the year then ended. The notes to the consolidated and separate financial statement, including a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory disclosures. In our opinion, the consolidated and separate financial statement give a true and fair view of the consolidated and separate financial position of GCB Bank PLC as at 31st December 2022, and its consolidated and separate financial performance and consolidated and separate cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards and the requirement of the Companies Act 2019 at 992 and the Banks and Specialized Deposit Taking Institution Act 2016 at 930. Key audit matters. Shareholders, key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgment, were of most significance in our audit of the consolidated and separate financial statement of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the consolidated and separate financial statement as a whole, and informing our opinion thereon. We do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. We have determined that there are key audit matters to communicate in our report regarding the audit of the separate financial statement of the bank for the current period. And our key audit matters were: 1, impairment of investment in government securities; 2, expected credit loss, ECL, on loans and advances. Shareholders, I'll move you to page 68, which has responsibilities of directors for the consolidated and separate financial statement. We will take that as read. Auditors' responsibilities for the audit of the consolidated and separate financial statement, which is on page 69, will also be taken as read. I will go to page 70. Report on other legal and regulatory requirements. In accordance with the 7th schedule of the Companies Act 2019 at 992, we expressly state that: 1, we have obtained the information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. 2, in our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the group so far as appears from our examination of those books. The information and explanation given to us were in a manner required by the Companies Act 2019 at 992 and give a true and fair view of the A, statement of financial position of the group at the end of the financial year, and B, statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income for the year. The group accounts have been properly prepared in accordance with the Companies Act 2019 at 992 to give a true and fair view of the state of affairs and of profit or loss of the bank and its subsidiary. The group's statement of financial position and statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the accounting records and returns. The group account has been properly prepared in accordance with the Companies Act 2019 at 992 to give a true and fair view of the state of affairs and the profit or loss of the bank and its subsidiary. We are independent of the group pursuant to Section 143 of the Companies Act 2019 at 992. The Banks and Specialized Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2016 at 930 requires that we state certain matters in our report. We hereby state that, 1, we have confirmed that the accounts give a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the bank and the results of operations for the year under review. We were able to obtain all the information and explanation required for the efficient performance of our duties as auditors. We confirmed that the transactions of the bank were within the powers of the bank. In our opinion, the bank has generally complied with the provisions of Anti-Money Laundering Act 2008 at 749 as amended by the Anti-Money Laundering Amendment Act 2014 at 874 and Anti-Terrorism Act 2008 at 762 and the regulations made under this enactment. The bank has generally complied with the provisions of the Bank and the Specialized Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2016 at 930. The engagement partner on the audit resulting in this independent auditor's report is Daniel Kojo-Usu, that is myself, and my ICA number is provided, and the report is signed for and on behalf of Deloitte & Touche. Shareholders, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel Owusu and Deloitte, for the good work and very professional services you do for the bank. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now proceed with the ordinary business of the day. The 2022 annual report, which includes the accounts and reports of the directors, have been published on the bank's website for the past 21 days. With your permission, I would like to take them as read. We will therefore follow the usual procedures where we ask a shareholder to move the proposed motion and another to second. There will be an opportunity to ask questions, after which the motion will be put to the meeting for a vote. I shall be grateful if questions which relate directly to the motion on the floor are asked. Any member who is physically present and wants to ask a question, make a comment, or second a motion should please use the microphone at the podium or use the chat box online to make their submissions. Please mention or indicate your name clearly before you make your submission. I think that we will allot about 3 minutes to put each resolution to vote. I shall now call on a representative from the bank's Corporate Affairs Division to explain the voting process to shareholders.
Good morning, valued shareholders. I kindly request your attention to receive guidance on how to actively participate in the 29th Annual General Meeting of GCB Bank PLC virtually. Please follow these steps to join the virtual AGM. A. Log on cps://gcbbankagm.com on your mobile device or computer. B. enter the unique 5-digit token and click the Give Me Access button. Update the shareholder details. I, first name, I, last name, I, other names. IV, phone number. D, click on the Continue to Meeting button to join the meeting. Once you have joined the meeting online, you can send in your questions and vote appropriately. 2, please follow the following steps to second a motion, comment, or ask questions. A, locate the message prompt on the right side of your screen, type your comment or questions, and click on Send button to submit. 3, please follow the following steps to vote on a resolution. There are 2 options to enable you to vote in real time. A, option 1, voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box at the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. I, enter the unique 5-digit token, the same code you used to join the meeting. I, click on the Cast Your Vote button, access the list of the resolutions. I, click on the plus sign on the respective resolution. IV, select your voting option, for or against, for or against. V, click on the vote button to complete your vote. B, option 2, voting via the USSD shortcode *3#. Voting via the USSD shortcode *899*3#. I, dial *8993# on your mobile device on all networks. That is *899*3# on all networks. I, enter the unique 5-digit token. I, select your voting option. 1 is for, 0 is against. 1 is for, 0 is against. And the final one, once you voted, you will receive a thank you for your response prompt. Note that you have to vote quickly in the 30-second window. And for all our valued shareholders present, you can vote via the shortcode *899*3# with your unique 5-digit token. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, we would like to move the podium downstairs to be closer to those who want to ask questions later. As I go over again, I'll be going over downstairs. So please move the podium downstairs so we can do it. Option 1, voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Step 1, enter the unique 5-digit code you used to join the meeting. Option 1, 2, click on the Cast Your Vote button to access the list of resolutions. Number 3, click on the plus sign on the respective resolution. Number 4, select your voting option, for or against, and then select the vote button to complete your vote. That is voting via the online platform. Option 2, voting via the USSD shortcode *899*3#. The USSD shortcode again, *899*3#. 1, you dial 899*3# on your mobile phone or device on all networks. Enter the unique 5-digit token. Select your voting option. 1, 4, 0, against. You press 1, 4, 0, against. And once your vote is received, a thank you for your response prompt will appear. And please note that you vote quickly in the 30-second window available. And then all shareholders present can vote via the short code *899*3# with your unique 5-digit token. And shareholders joining us online can do same. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, with your permission.
We shall now proceed with the ordinary business of the day. The first item on the agenda is to receive and adopt the financial statements of the bank for the year ended December 31st, 2022, together with the reports of the directors and auditors thereon. The proposed resolution is, I hereby propose that the financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2022 and the report of the directors and auditors thereon be received and adopted. Will a shareholder please move this motion?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Samuel Dadze, a member of the executives of Shareholders Association. Thank you. Having been given the rare opportunity to table the first motion of the agenda, I do so as follows. That the financial statements of GCB Bank PLC for the financial year ended 31st December 2022, together with the report of the directors and auditors' report thereon, being laid before this August House virtually, be and is hereby received, considered, approved, and adopted. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel Dadzi. Can a shareholder please second this motion?
Mr. Chairman, my name is Samson Ashon, a shareholder. I do second the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samson Ashon. With the motion seconded now, I shall leave the floor open for comments, questions from shareholders before we put it to vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity. My name is Samson Ashon once more. I am the General Secretary of the Shareholders Association of Ghana. Permit me, Mr. Chairman, to make this comment before I go into the real business. Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the Shareholders Association of Ghana, I wish to appeal to the board and management that you consider going forward an in-person meeting or a hybrid meeting the next time around. Since the COVID-19, as we are all aware, has abated, if not completely eradicated. So this is my humble appeal on behalf of the association, because we believe sincerely that where we have our numbers and where we meet in person, the various exchange of ideas will enrich our discussions, and in that matter, even add to the value for the bank to move to greater heights. Thank you. Having said that, Mr. Chairman, let me congratulate you for the excellent performance. In spite of the economic difficulties, I believe that but for the DDEP, the story will be positively and entirely different. And shareholders would have been smiling by now, but for the DDEP. Congratulations once more. Having said that, Mr. Chairman, I still believe that in spite of the economic challenges, we can still do something when it comes to our cost in-house. And I'll refer you to note 16, page 147 on other expenses, where we have the training cost going up, the audit also going up. We would like some sort of explanation on that. And I also go to the personnel expenses, especially the staff allowance and other costs. Now I go to the impairment of loans and advances. There has been a decrease. Congratulations for that. I know the recovery, the team is doing very well. But I will actually urge the board and management to really motivate the team such that they will be able to do the recoveries faster for us, because as it is, the amount still is high. On digital transformation, the efforts of the bank in this direction can best be said to be excellent. However, this comes with an increase in cybercrime. Cybersecurity needs to be stepped up. What I would like the board and management to really advise us on, and to give us that comfortable lead, is whether the platform, especially the GCB mobile application, the app, we are afraid that that has been actually exposed to third party, and we fear that that might be compromised. However, we want to find out what steps have been put in place for these assurance to be given to us that these things has actually been monitored and has been managed so that we will not have any problem going forward. I also want to congratulate you on the board when it comes to governance. The board, the development and training, so excellent. And no gain the fact that the directors are really working very well. But what I also want to say is that your succession planning, also excellent. I went through everything and it's so good. Congratulations. But what I want to find out, what has not been reported on, is about the disaster recovery planning. And I know that has also been given, but give us some level of assurance that that is also in place. Mr. Chairman, the GCB brand is a strong brand, but I will still urge the board and management to really strategize, develop strategies to build upon the brand so that it will become a household name. If it becomes a household bank, the inflows will be coming, and that will also raise the bottom line. On cash evacuation, I believe the bank is not directly involved in cash evacuation, and the duty, I believe, has been handed over to a third party. But I still believe that management and the board should urge them to use the appropriate equipment and whatever should be used, because we woke up one day just a few days ago and we realized what the armed robberies did recently by even murdering a policeman. So we would like to make sure that these things going forward are really worked on. We know the bank is taking action in that direction, but let's make sure that they use the right equipment, the right vehicle, the bulletproof vehicles and all others to affect those problems going forward. Mr. Chairman, I'm coming to the end of it. At this stage, we have to be firing on various cylinders because we need the incomes for the bank. I was just thinking aloud. Should we now be thinking of experimenting on this solarizing some of our branches? because some people have done it and they are really saving costs on energy. So shall we also look at that and see how best that can be projected for our bank? Then, Mr. Chairman, I want to know the bank's take on the green revolution and also the environment. Finally, Mr. Chairman, I also clean my face at this stage before saying that the celebration, the 70th year celebration, Mr. Chairman, shareholders should not be left out, but should be considered as the celebration progresses. Mr. Chairman, I am done. Thank you.
It's dicey if I acknowledge them without acknowledging these people. So I acknowledge all of them. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Edward Taylor, a shareholder and a member of the Shareholders Association. Mr. Ashon, the General Secretary, has spoken a lot. He's spoken about the area of cost that you needed to look at. I only talk about one, since we are even limited with time, and that's the directors' fees. As shareholders, we have always given the board opportunity to recommend for directors' fees and only report to us at the ensuing meeting. I want the board to critically look at the directors' fees. In 2001, the directors' fee, and I presume in addition to the remuneration, was 2,539 for the bank. And in 2002, it increased to 3,544. It's over 40%. I want us to know why this development. And then that of the group, it rose from 2,664 in 2021 to 3,801. And now that we have experienced so much impairment loss of 1.8 billion cedis in respect of DDEP, it is now time we manage our costs so together we'll be able to make better gains in the coming year. Thank you very much.
You'll get to the, so okay, let's take your question then. We'll do the answer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think, oh, sorry.
Please, I would like to refer us to page 169. Page 169 of the report. And my question basically has to do with GCB and UT Bank. GCB took over the good assets of UT Bank and has not told shareholders what it has used that good assets for. GCB owes shareholders a duty to tell us that, look, we took over 2 cedis from UT, we've used it for this number of years, we've gained this, we've paid so much to creditors, and the rest. But for GCB to, I stand for correct, for GCB not to have told us anything since they took over the good assets of UT leaves much to be desired. Now, on page 169, we are seeing that a number of court action has been instituted against GCB. So at this stage, I want to plead with the management to tell us in plain language which assets of UT Bank they took, what has they done with it, and what will they have for us as shareholders. Now, my second issue has to do with trust. Any student of banking will tell you that banking thrives on trust. Now, it appears that our trust in the banking system is on the downward spiral. What is GCB doing so that this trust will be rekindled? Because the DDEP has its tool, other things also is there, and if we don't build trust, what will happen is that at a point in time, all of us will have nothing to write to live on. So please tell us something about UT, and then please tell us about what we are doing to build trust and confidence in our Ghanaian banking system, especially as it concerns GCB. Thank you.
Good. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your question. My attention has been drawn to a few things, and with your kind permission, may I recognize the members of the Shareholders Association, led by Mr. Sachs George, which includes Mr. Kwefio Sampson, Mr. Mexico Kwefio, and then for that, and Mr. Samson Ashong of the Shareholders Association. We also have with us Mr. Kwame Mesro Otre, representing the Ministry of Finance. We would like to acknowledge him, and Divine Lai from SNET, we would also like to recognize him. And from the Ghana Stock Exchange, we have Miss Joyce Boache joining us over here. Thank you very much for your presence. We will now proceed to respond to the very pertinent questions that have been asked. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'll quickly ask my DMD operations to take on the operational cyber risk questions that were raised. Thank you.
I think you have to go off. He has to go. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I will be responding to the issue of cybersecurity, resilience within the bank, and then I'll also respond to the cash operations matter that Mr. Ashon raised on Ablikuma, and then solar. There was another question on solar, the bank taking advantage of solar technology. Last but not the least, the issue around the mobile app. Starting off with cybersecurity, as a board and management team, we have a comprehensive plan that touches on the human element, training. We have mandatory training for all of our staff. We do also have a world-class cyber securities operations center to combat cybersecurity, and there are clear policies that is reported to board in terms of how the bank is performing in the area of cybersecurity, especially as we accelerate our digital transformation agenda. Our posture as a board and management team and staff is that we do not rest on our laurels despite all of these one. Now, coming back to the issue of mobile app, I must say we are well ahead to launch a new mobile app before the end of the year to bring convenience to all of our clients. Then on the issue of solar, we have piloted as part of our broader ESG program. We have piloted solar in a few of our branches, and going forward, we would intensify or add on a lot more other branches to solar. This is actually tying in with broadly our ESG and also in compliance with the Bank of Ghana's sustainability principles in that direction. So be rest assured, more branches will be added onto that. On the issue of Ablikuma, security is of utmost importance to the board, the management of GC Bank, wherever we operate, not only on the cyber side, but physical security. What happened at Ablikuma, I must say that we've really touched by that. We have a clear program around that. And I'll permit me to just share with you a few of the things that we are doing on Ablikuma. There's a Bank of Ghana directive and regulation around using armored vehicles, which the bank will comply with. We're a very big bank, and we as GCB set example. That is our pusher for other industry players to follow. So we'll comply with that as well, and working with our vendors would achieve or will meet the deadline set by Bank of Ghana. I must also add that we also working with our clients. When it comes to banking, we handle the security matters. At the same time, we take into consideration the needs of our clients. So what we are doing as a bank is working with our various clients to enable them utilize our digital channels. And going forward, we intend to add more innovative solutions to that space. I think last but not the least, I must emphasize on business continuity as well. The board and management, we have a program on disaster recovery sites, which is reviewed and audited by external parties. We also comply with international standards on ISO, what we call the ISO certifications and all of that. So the bank is in a well-placed position to comply, meet all of these things, and it's entrenched in the DNA of our business. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. So I will take the question on the expenditure and then director's fees. Some 3 years ago, shareholders were approved for us an amount of 3.850 as the total director's fees. Over the years, we've not come back for an upward review. And so in the course of 2022, as the cost of living went up, inflation so high, depreciation of the currency, the cost of almost everything went up, as we can attest to. So management, together with the board, evaluated the position and realized that we needed to up what was to be given to the directors, still within the approved amount of 3 years ago. And so yes, the absolute figure had gone up, but in terms of what was approved for us to work with for 3 years running, that figure has not changed, and the board still operated under that. So the question of the training, I think training is the critical part of building the human resources to be able to compete and compete effectively. We have 23 banks in the country. Some of these banks have parents elsewhere. And so when it comes to human resource development, they are able to second their staff to their headquarters. And those staff come back with the skill to compete with us in Ghana. GCB, our parent and headquarters is still the high street. And so if we have to compete effectively with these banks, it means we need to spend some resources on developing the human capital. That explains the increment you see in training. And going forward, because of the dynamics of banking and the environment keeps changing, that level of training needs to be provided so that your bank can operate on a sustainable basis, and then the shareholders can get the right returns for their investment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will take on, I think a shareholder asked about UT, the assets, and so on. So we'll take that up. But before that, I would also like to recognize representatives from SIGA who are here with us. Mrs. Helen Ado and Mr. Agambila Awuni, both from SIGA. Thank you. Yeah. Now, on the UT, I think the shareholder asked that GCB took over at least some assets of UT, and therefore, what would be in it for those shareholders of UT at the time? I think that we understand that position, but the real position of that transaction is that there was a purchase and assumption agreement. Now, under the purchase and assumption, it's the receiver that took over the bank, UT Bank. And the receiver, together with Bank of Ghana, offered to GCB a purchase and assumption agreement. This agreement required GCB to evaluate those assets, in other words, loans and advances that it felt it could take up on its books. And then it also assumed the deposits, liabilities of those banks. And these were a matter of audit, so they are specific loans. So when those were taken over, there would be a difference. When you offset the asset and the liability, there will be a difference. That difference is then supposed to be paid for by government to GCB, and at the time, a bond was issued to cover that. So it is not as if GCB took over the assets. There were specific assets under a specific purchase and sale, which does not include the payment of dividend to any shareholder. But I think that it is a matter of concern, as we know, to shareholders of those banks. But I think it can be taken up under the appropriate forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. So I want to speak to Mr. Adoku's specific question on the legal matters relating to UT and Capital Bank. So Chairman has explained the nature of the transaction. Some legal matters have come up because UT Bank in particular was in certain transactions at the time we assumed the selected assets and liabilities. And then some of those transactions had gone bad, but they were not part of the purchase and assumption altogether. But natural as with human beings, some of the parties in those transactions took GCB to court that because we've assumed UT and Capital by way of selected deposits and assets, the money should be with us. So in the big case of the $7 million plus, what had happened was that there was supposed to be a deposit account to have the money. At the time we went in, the list of deposits we took, that money was not part of it. And so we went to court, High Court, we lost, we went to Supreme Court, we won. The Court of Appeal subsequently went to Court of Appeal, we've won. And so the bottom line of that transaction is that that money never came to GCB, and we've defended that position, and the courts have upheld our position. So that is the story around the legal issues. Thank you.
At this stage, if there are no further questions, can we please put the matter to vote? Who deals with the voting? Oh, good, okay. So the motion before us now, after we've exhausted the questions, is...
Mr. Chairman, please, point of order. There are a few things I would like to draw your attention to. Based upon this actual report, we're discussing who to come and ask the question. And so it was delaying. That is why I've come up to the podium. But let me say, I wouldn't spend much time on this account. As an analyst, if there is an extraordinary item in the financial statements, remove it and see the effect. Later, insert in and see the effect. What am I speaking about? It is the impairment of investment. Had it not been that, this bank would have actually done very, very well. But the fundamentals of this bank is still strong. And therefore, 2023 financial year, we expect positive outcome. Elsewhere, they are debating whether to split it and carry forward part of the losses, then the following year they bring the remaining losses. But I'm happy this 1.8 billion is the maximum amount that has been brought into the books. The concern I have is that there's another DDEP on the way. I would like the board to tell us what is in store as far as that one is concerned. The second one is bad debts, and the recoveries. I think the board and management will have to work a little further as far as bad debt recoveries are concerned. During the year on the reference, there was zero balance, zero amount in relation to bad debt recovery. Meanwhile, an amount has also been written off as bad debts. The preceding year was even more colossal. And therefore, in short, I would like the board to look at the recoveries of bad debts written off. I'm aware Bank of Ghana is peculiarly interested in those attempts that have been made to recover these figures. Value-added statement. I will urge the board and management that if you put the value-added statement figures into percentages, management and staff are taking the chunk of the money. We expect them to work harder than before. They are the ones feeding on the company more than any other. And therefore, they are expected to work harder than before. The DDEP has affected the profitability of the company as well as shareholders' interest in the company. Fortunately, liquidity of this company is very, very, very strong. Liquidity is very, very strong. That does not mean that you should slow down in your deposit mobilization. That is not what I'm talking about. But at the reporting date, liquidity of the company, very, very, very strong. I would urge the board to continue with their deposit mobilization. Now you are supposed to come back to your core mandate. That is financial intermediation. The bond market has almost collapsed. For me, that's the way I look at it. Therefore, come back to your core mandate, financial intermediation. Finally, I'll talk about non-financials. Non-financials. At this meeting, we are all talking about money, financials, about this. Beneath all these financials are non-financials, which are very, very, very critical if you are to get the real financial that you require. The first thing I'll talk about is the worker. The worker. Do everything to make the worker happy. Number two, the customer. The customer. Do everything to make the customer happy. The third one is processes and innovation. Processes and innovation. These are the only three things I'll talk about. There are plenty, but I'll only restrict myself to those three. These three things are very, very important if you are to achieve your target. And my plea to the board and management is that they should focus on this. By that, I mean spend a little more on this. Make them happy means you have to spend a little more. And you'll be able to get the required result. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I believe the earlier speaker talked about the customer must be happy. My name is Ben Dagadu, a customer and a shareholder. Mine is about the ATM machines, automated teller machines. Anytime you visit any of these machines, you will see disappointment on the face of customers. Mr. Chairman, either it is out of order or there's no money to dispense. Please, make the customer happy. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I thank you for the opportunity. Even though we do appreciate the need to spend money through corporate social responsibility for areas like health, education, and environment, I'm certainly view that in view of the very poor performance under the year through last year, how do we expend such huge money, about 21 million, for social corporate responsibility, whereas we are down? I think the idea is that we spend money to help those where we operate through the profit that we get. But if you lost, as we rightly say, 1.2 billion, why is the need for us to spend such a huge amount, even though there are established government organizations who cater for such needs? So we respect appeal that maybe this year we expect that this figure, 21 million, should be cut down to various minimum, so that by God's grace we shall also get benefit out of that. I think we have spoken much about that, but I'm still coming on to UT Bank. I think the explanation given by the chairman, in my view, is not satisfactory. We want figures. Even though you are not the receiver, you are beneficiary. So we wanted to know how much came to you as a commercial bank from the UT assets. After all, we have assets and liability. It cannot be all liability. There should be assets. If you want to know how much did the amount or assets pass on to Ghana Commercial Bank. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Charles Boateng, a shareholder, a member of the association. Mr. Chairman, not to answer your question for you, but to make probably the English you spoke clearer to our colleague shareholders. GCB did not take assets of UT for free. They paid for them. It was a purchase. So as it is now, GCB has done her job and she's done. Whatever money that GCB should pay has gone to the receiver. And what the receiver is saying, from what we've read so far, is that UT is in debt. And so there will be no money to dispense now. So it is important that we hear from the receiver. I don't think Mr. Chairman is in the right position to give us further clarification until the entire receivership and everything is done. They cannot really answer to that. We are all shareholders of UT and we are in the same boat. But I believe that if we keep pushing UT on them, we are not being fair to them. And as you are buying shares, you must know that you bear a certain risk. As a shareholder, that's why we must put our directors and the company to work. In the unfortunate event of the case of UT, even if you are not careful, they can call us to come and pay. In respect of the number of shares that we have, you can be called to pay according to the number of shares you have. So it's not that you are going to get something. If it is, after doing the evaluation and everything, if there's profit, I'm sure as shareholders, it will be given to us in accordance to the number of shares that we have. But in as much as that whole transaction has not ended, I think that we should just have patience and see how Nananipa and the whole transaction ends. And so that is for the UT own. I'd also want to request that the board be gender balanced more. We realize that we have only 3, if not 2 lone women on the board. We want to state for an affirmative action and that the board should consider more capable women in the coming future as and when the vacancies are available. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
What else you answer it? I think they say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and the shareholders. I think some very important points have been made, many of them comments, which I want to assure you we take up very seriously, particularly around making our customers happy. I couldn't agree with you the more that customers are the main focus of this bank. We have in place customer experience strategy which recognizes some of the deficiencies and how we plan to bridge some of those things. Our ATMs, yes, we have feedback, and your feedback is right. Our ATMs are sometimes challenged. As you would agree with me, GCB is also located in certain difficult areas where network challenges and all of that. So we do understand that, but it is our promise to serve our customers the best. So even in those difficult areas, we expect to be up and running 99% of the time. But it's good feedback. We are working very hard on it. There's a digital transformation agenda in place. Our customer service and customer experience policies and strategies are off the block now. And we do expect that in the not too distant future, you will recognize some of these changes. With regards to CSR, we hear you. We're in very difficult times, so why should we be spending money there? But as a bank, an indigenous bank spread all over this country, we also have responsibilities to the communities in which we work. GCB seeks to work through partnerships. Yes, we are a commercial bank, and that is our priority. But we also care about the communities and the challenges that the communities go through. So as we work profitably in those communities, we only find it proper through the governance structures in place to make a return, to make some return to the communities in which we work. But we recognize the point you make, and we'll be well guided in terms of how we manage our cost. And then on the balanced board, perfect. Our board has been talking about this for some time, making sure that we have a gender-balanced board. And not only the board, it runs through the entire bank, the executive management and the bank as a whole. We are seeking to implement ESG very strongly, and gender balance is one of the issues that comes up under ESG agenda. So these points enrich the board, enrich management, and the strategies going forward, and we'll adopt them and report to you in future. My colleague, DMD Finance, the Deputy Managing Director of Finance, Mr. Afram, will answer a few questions on the financial side that have already been raised. Socrates.
Thank you, Chair. So, Mr. Dazi, on the question of whether we've seen the end of the DDP on GCB, I want to respond as follows. We are exposed to some small extent to the Euro bonds and a very small extent to USD domestic bonds. In total, it doesn't come even to 10% of what we dealt with. Aside that, because of the domestic exchange that happened, we treated those bonds in the same way. So largely, we've taken the potential effect that will result from those bonds onto the books already. What was not in the equation was cocoa bills, which you might have heard that something is being done about it. The good thing is that we've done the impact assessment and factored the potential effect into our numbers. And so we don't expect surprises going forward. Thank you.
Ask the board secretary in line with good practice to read some questions that we received online.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's a question from Ruth Menz, and she says, I also have a problem when you are depositing money through mobile money. The bank deducts money, which is absurd and unthinkable in this age of innovation when we want to decongest the bank from in-person banking. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'll take this question. We've seen during the initial stages of e-levy, we saw a drop in the levels of transaction. And indeed, a lot more customers have raised the issue that in as much as our pricing is very competitive compared to our peers, I won't mention names, they've still asked us to look into pricing. As a bank, we're reviewing our pricing in the light of what we seek to achieve. Overall, yes, the questioner is right, to reduce our cost of cash. So rest assured that we'll look into the pricing in as much as we remain competitive in terms of pricing currently. Thank you.
We are still on resolution 1, and I believe we've taken sufficient views. And as we go on, other questions will come up. So I hope by the end of the AGM, we would have responded to a lot of the concerns of the shareholders. So at this stage, I would like to read the resolution again, that I propose that the financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2022 and the report of the directors and auditors thereon be received and adopted. This was moved by Mr. Samuel Dadzi and seconded by Mr. Samson Ashong. The motion is before you for voting.
Casting your vote. We have provided 2 options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1, voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the
So, Mr. Chairman, the votes are in. And then 153 shareholders voted for and 0 voted against. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I therefore declare the motion carried. The next item on the agenda is to re-elect directors retiring by rotation. In compliance with the sections 325 of the Companies Code, Act 2019, Act 992, 4 members of the board will retire by rotation, but are eligible for re-election. The following 4 non-executive directors are retiring by rotation and being eligible have consented and are offering themselves for re-election. Do you have the pictures projected?
So come on the screen.
I think the pictures of the 4 directors are being projected for us. The profiles of the directors can be found on pages 12 to 14 of the annual report. The resolution being put before you is I propose for re-election Alhaji Osmani Aludiba Ayuba, who is retiring by rotation and being eligible has consented and is offering himself for re-election. Why are you doing it one by one? We should do it one by one. Will a shareholder please move for the re-election of Mr. Alhaji Osmani Aludiba Ayuba?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Samuel Dazi. Page 4, the name there is Mr. Osmani Ayuba. You have inserted another name there, so I don't know.
I think I gave the full name. Sorry about that.
So, please, what is the full name? Because I want to be very sure. This is name, so I want to make sure I pronounce the correct name.
Alhaji Osmani Aludiba Ayuba.
The middle name is giving me a problem, but you let me deal with what is here. My name is Samuel Dazi, and thank you very much for this opportunity once more. I hereby move that Mr. Osmani Ayuba, who is retiring by rotation at this annual general meeting, and who, having consented to his re-election, be and is hereby re-elected as a director of the company. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can a shareholder please second the motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Yvonne Salon Bunyo. I'm a shareholder. I second the motion.
Are there any comments from shareholders? If not, I shall put the motion before the shareholders.
Thank you, Chair. This is a quick one. I believe it's lawful for us to put all the four together. Can the company secretary help us so that we can save time? If it's legal, the Unilever, we put them together and we voted. So please check. Thank you.
I suggested that, or you have to do it individually.
Okay. All right. The company's law allows us to put it together if by voting we will get unanimous vote on it. So by ordinary resolution, we could vote on it, and if there's unanimous votes, then we can put them together. But we may not get it. That is why we do it individually. Thank you.
Okay, very well then. So I think that the issue and the problem is if the numbers for each director could be different, and that is why it is being presented individually. Very well. Who's here?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I just want clarity on the voting. The results that was announced, does it capture proxy votes that were sent ahead of the meeting? So if that is captured, it would be clearer if we get a breakdown of that, so we know how many of the votes are coming via proxy and how many are coming via the live voting. Thank you.
Yeah, very, very well. Please, can you tell us your name and so that we record it?
My name is Harrison Tetefio, and I'm representing SC nominees.
Your name is?
Harrison Tetefio, and I'm representing SCB nominees.
So you explain it, so you have the proxies. So once.
Hello. Okay, so to answer your question, yes, it does take account of the proxies on those who voted for and against. It's captured in the system by the service provider, Innovations and Impumto. Thank you.
So we have a seconder for Ayuba. Okay. Can we please put to vote the motion on the re-election of Mr. Osmani Aludiba Ayuba?
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, the votes are in. 159 voted for the re-election of Mr. Ayuba as the Director of GCB Bank PLC and 11 voted against. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I therefore declare the motion carried and Mr. Ayuba re-elected. Thank you very much. We'll move on now for the re-election of Alhaji Alhassan Adams Yakubu, who is retiring by rotation and being eligible has consented and is offering himself for re-election. Will a shareholder please move the motion for the re-election of the director?
Mr. Chairman, the name is Samson Ashon. I move that Mr. Alhaji Alhassan Yakubu, a director of the company, retiring by rotation under the Companies Act 2019 at 992, but has consented to his re-election, be hereby adopted.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, we have a seconder, Edward Cody, online, seconding to the motion.
That is seconded by Mr. Edward Cody, who is joining online. Are there any comments before I put the motion to the meeting for voting? Very well. There being no further comments, I declare voting open for shareholders to vote.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
Mr. Chairman, the results are in. 168 voted for the re-election of Alhaji Alhassan Yakubu as the director of GCB Bank PLC, and 11 voted against. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I now declare the motion carried and Alhaji duly re-elected. Thank you very much. We now move to the re-election of the next director. The motion is I propose for re-election Mr. Daniel Kweku Chunibwa Asrifi, who is retiring by rotation and being eligible has consented and is offering himself for re-election. Will a shareholder please move the motion for re-election of the director?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is James Day, a shareholder and a member of the Ghana Shareholders Association. Thank you. I hereby move that Mr. Daniel Kweku Chunibwa Isrefi, a director of the company, retiring by rotation under the Companies Act 2019 at 992, who is eligible for re-election, be re-elected as director of the company. Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much, Mr. Tay.
Mr. Chairman, I have a seconder online by name Esther Abasa Konedu, seconding the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The motion has been seconded. Are there any comments from the floor? Very well. There being no comments, I put the motion to the meeting for voting.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
Mr. Chairman, the results are in. 172 shareholders voted for the re-election of Mr. Daniel Chinubua Asrifi as a director of GCB Bank PLC, and 11 voted against. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I now declare the motion carried, and Mr. Daniel Kweku Chinubua Asrifi is duly re-elected. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, can we now move on to the next one? I propose for re-election Honorable Dr. Stephen Amwa, who is retiring by rotation and being eligible has consented and is offering himself for re-election. Will a shareholder please move for the re-election of the director?
Mr. Chairman, my name is John Kingsley Isel, a shareholder. I hereby move that Honorable Dr. Stephen Amwa, who is retiring by rotation and who, being eligible, has offered himself for re-election in accordance with Companies Act 2019, Act 992. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, we have a seconder online by the name Abraham Kwesikuma, seconding the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kuba. We now have a seconder to the motion. Are there any comments before I put the motion to vote, please? Very well. There be no comments. I declare voting open for shareholders to vote.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
Mr. Chairman and shareholders, the results are in. 169 shareholders voted for and 20 voted against. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I declare the motion carried, and Honorable Dr. Stephen Amwa is duly re-elected. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, we'll move on to the next item, which is the re-election of directors per Bank of Ghana Corporate Governance Directives 2018. The Bank of Ghana Corporate Governance Directive, GCD 2018, Part 6, Transitional Provisions, Section 82, indicates that the non-executive directors shall have a maximum tenure of three terms of 3 years per term. Mrs. Lydia Esa and Nanama Ayensua Sarah III have expressed their willingness to be re-elected as directors for the third term. Their profiles are on pages 10 and 11 of the annual report. I will proceed with the motions. I propose for re-election Mrs. Lydia Esa, who being eligible for re-election as a non-executive director of the bank for a third term, has consented and is offering herself for re-election. Will a shareholder please move the motion?
Mr. Chairman, before I move this motion, today I've been very quiet.
Yes.
Because what I saw, what I've heard, especially about our staff and management. Look, I've taken the time to visit some of the branches, and I tell you the work they are doing. I cannot tell. I cannot give or describe. They are doing a very exceptional well. So if they talk about, let's talk about their salary, their allowances, please, I'll be very sad. I'll be very, very sad because of the good work these guys are doing. If you enter your branches, the reception you get, the attention you get, you will be amazed. So why do we talk about them? Please, if there's a plan, allow them to get more and more and more salary. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, it is pity. It is pity that our sister, Esther, is exiting very soon. And I wept, actually, when I heard the third time. Because these guys on the board, in the management, they are too exceptional. When we talk of technocrats, look at the questions that we put before them. Look at the way they answer them. If I have my own authority and power, I will say we shall not allow them to go. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, it is not possible. Therefore, I move that Mrs. Madam, who is going for the last time, God bless you. And I move that you stay for the third time. Thank you very much.
There's a second online. There's a second online.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr.
Somebody was asking me, what is my name?
Yes.
My name is Jonathan Kwefio, Mexico.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the secretary will read. We have a seconder to the motion online.
All right. Mr. Chairman and shareholders, we have Kate Winifred Aqua seconding the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before I put the motion to vote, are there any comments from shareholders, please? Very well. There being no comments, I declare voting open.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
The results are in. 177 voted for the re-election of Mrs. Lydia Issa as a director of GCB Bank PLC in line with the BOG Corporate Governance Directive, and 7 voted against. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I now declare the motion carried, and Mrs. Lydia Issa is duly re-elected. Thank you very much. Can I please move on to the next resolution? I hereby propose for re-election Nanama Ayensua Sarah III, who being eligible for re-election as a non-executive director of the bank for a 3rd term, has consented and is offering herself for re-election. Will a shareholder please move the motion?
I hereby move that Nana Amma Yusua Sarah III be re-elected as a director of the company in consonance with the Ghana Corporate Governance Directive issued in 2018. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, excuse me, please. Your name? Your name, sir?
My name is Jesse. Thank you.
Very well, thank you very much. We have a seconder online, and the secretary will read that out.
Okay. Shareholders, we have a seconder online by name Vance Kweku Adadize. Adadize. Thank you.
Before I put the motion to vote before shareholders, are there any comments, please? Very well. There being no further comments, I declare voting open.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
Okay, the results are in. 169 voted for the re-election of Nanama Ayenswa Sarah III as Director of GCB Bank PLC in line with BOG's Corporate Governance Directive, and 11 voted against. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I declare the motion duly carried, and Nanama Ayenswa Sarah III is duly re-elected as a non-executive director. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the next item, that is to get a resolution to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors. I hereby propose that directors be mandated to determine the fees of the auditors in respect of the period ending at the conclusion of the next annual general meeting. Will a shareholder please move the motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Charles Boateng. I so move that the remuneration of directors be so approved.
Auditors.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. The remuneration of auditors be so approved. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do you have any seconder?
No.
Can a shareholder please second the motion?
My name is Samuel Rufuri, shareholder. I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Before I put the motion to the meeting for voting, are there any comments, please? Very well. There being no comments, I now put the motion to the meeting for voting.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
The results are in. 165 voted for authorizing directors to fix the remuneration of auditors, and 10 shareholders voted against. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I declare the motion duly carried. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We will now move to the special business of the AGM. Item 5 on the agenda is in connection with the bank's intention to raise additional equity capital. The additional capital raise to address the regulatory capital adequacy issues of the bank resulting from the impact of the government's Domestic Debt Exchange Program, DDEP, on the economy and the financial performance of the banking sector. Based on the bank's capital plan, we seek the approval of shareholders to raise additional capital of 1 billion for the following reasons. 1, to meet regulatory capital adequacy ratio requirements. 2, enhance our deal-making capacity and take advantage of opportunities available to the bank while preserving our core strengths. 3, strengthen access to funding markets and bolster confidence in the bank. And 4, support targeted and prioritized investments in digital transformation and ultimately help to drive our business strategy. Details of the capital raise and the justification for the proposal can be found in the shareholders' circular dated 6 June 2023, which was made available to all shareholders. The above being said, we have 3 resolutions in respect of the capital raise requiring shareholders' approval to proceed with the capital plan. With your permission, I shall move to the first one. I hereby propose that directors be authorized to raise additional equity capital of up to 1 billion Ghana cedis through a renounceable rights issue on such terms, including the share price, the number of offer shares, allotment, and other modalities as the directors deem fit, and procure the additional listing of the issued ordinary shares on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Will a shareholder please move this motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Charles Boateng, a shareholder and a member of the Ghana Shareholders Association. Before I move, Mr. Chairman, I want to acknowledge and congratulate your proactiveness. The board has been very proactive in weathering the storm that has hit the entire banking spectrum. I wish that we clap for our board. This is a proactive decision. Thank you. It is true, without your own doing, by the winds of the day, everything was thrown out of gear. And we cannot leave everything and wave our hands in despair. And so we are very happy that the board has taken this proactive decision to put the bank on a better pedestal. In saying this, I would also want to say that the board carry our feelings to the Bank of Ghana with respect to dividend payments. Now that there are no profits, we know we cannot get dividends. In future, when there are profits, kindly carry our feelings and sentiments to the Bank of Ghana that they shouldn't be capping our dividends. Because last year, most of the banks, what they wanted to pay, they were prevented. And it is true that we provide patients capital, but there should be a limit to the patience of our capital. And so they should, as it were, know that we also need the dividends and that they shouldn't be reducing our dividends or capping our dividends. In the best interest of the company, if our directors so propose, they should, and as it meets their regulatory, directives, they should so let it pass. That is, Mr. Chairman, a sentiment we want you to carry. Thank you. Now, I so move that the bank raises additional capital of 1 billion Ghana cedis to help the company. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles Boateng. We have a seconder online, and the secretary will read out her name.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have Elizabeth Ajete seconding the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments, please, before I put the motion to the meeting for voting?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Samuel Dazi. Additional capital through rights issue. May I know the timelines if approval is given today? Thank you very much.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon to you. Mr. Darzi made a point about the bank returning to its core mandate, which is financial intermediation. So we will also, my name is Divine Laye, proxy for SNET. We would also like to add our voice to this call that the days of mobilizing maybe customer deposits and just giving them to government or less risky maybe avenues are over. We've seen the impact of this DDEP on our bank. 1.8 billion cedis just written off. We don't know whether this money will be recovered or not. But we would like to plead with the board going forward. As my colleague said, we are not going to receive dividends for maybe the next 2 or 3 years. Yet we are going to raise 1 billion cedis. If you come to SNET, we are also in the same situation like the commercial bank. And I can imagine how the individual shareholders here are also feeling, because for institutional shareholders, most of our income or dividend come from the financial stocks. So if all the banks or majority of them are not even giving us any money, then even this capital raiser is going to result in dilution for some of the key institutional investors like us. As for the retail investors, maybe they know how they are going to handle it. So I would like to play with the board that once we give the go-ahead for this capital to be raised, we want them to come up with very concrete strategies which are solid, that will last the test of time. Because we don't want to go back to this situation whereby, because government is in a rush to secure finance from IMF or somewhere, within some few years, everything that we've worked for has gone down the drain. We will plead with the board that we take this as a matter of concern from the shareholders. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Voting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Please, I want an assurance from the board that this money we are about to agree that it should be raised will not be used will not still be put into the debt that, or the hole that has been created by this DDEP. Because how do you throw good money after bad money? I mean, 1.8 is gone, it's written off. For that reason, I'm not getting dividend. Then I'm being asked again to bring additional money. What is the assurance that, oh, as for this time around, my money will be safe and eventually I'll get something out of my investment? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sir, please, could you give your name for the records, please?
My name is Naidoku. Naidoku.
Naidoku, yeah. Loco. Doku, okay, yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Doku. I think your point has been well made, and most of the shareholders have also expressed the sentiment that returning to our core mandate and not assuming that government paper is risk-free, and to put in place a good risk management framework that protects our investments and balances our portfolio. This we give you our assurance. Thank you. Are there any more questions or comments before we put it to the... Very well. Thank you very much. In the absence of any further comments, I declare voting open for shareholders.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
Mr. Chairman, the results are in, and 161 shareholders have voted authorizing directors to raise up to 1 billion equity capital via renounceable rights issue, and 13 voted against. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I now declare the motion duly carried. Thank you very much. Resolution 5B, coming out of the just approved resolution, I hereby propose that directors be authorized to raise any shortfall in the required 1 billion cedi under the rights issue through either a single or multiple private placement of ordinary shares to investors on such terms, including the share price and other modalities as the directors deemed fit, and to procure the listing by introduction of the issued ordinary shares on the Ghana Stock Exchange, provided that the private placements shall be implemented and completed within 12 months of the close of the rights issue. Will a shareholder please move the motion?
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Emilia Aite. I move that the motion.
Thank you very much, Madam Emilia Aite. Can a shareholder please second the motion? We have a seconder online. The secretary will read it out.
Mr. Chairman, we have Gladys Boateng seconding the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments from shareholders before the motion is put to the meeting for voting? Read it out.
Mr. Chairman, there's a question from Angela Okai online, and she says, how would we know which private investor has been identified? Will we be informed? Thank you.
Respond to that. The modalities of the private play, or the modalities.
Okay, thank you, Chair. So, Angela, we appoint advisors who will take you through all the modalities we have to fulfill in terms of the GSC and then the SEC requirements. So you will be informed in due course all the processes that you need to follow to be able to pay for your shares. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Chairman, there's another question coming up from L/CSR Superannuation Scheme, and they ask, would the share price of GCB offered for the private placement be the same as that offered for the rights offering?
Chair, Thank you. So when we get the advisor appointed, then all those workings will be done. Then we'll advise whether it will be at a premium or at a discount, as the case may be. So at that point, we'll get to know what the price should be. Thank you.
Okay, very well. The pricing of the shares in the private placement will be done in a transparent manner in such a way as not to disadvantage existing shareholders. There being no further comments, I now put the motion to vote by the shareholders.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
Mr. Chairman, the results are in. 163 voted for and 8 voted against, authorizing directors to raise funds by private placement of shares to investors to cover any shortfall. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. I declare the motion duly carried. Thank you. The next resolution, Resolution 5C. I hereby propose that directors be authorized to raise any shortfall in the required 1 billion Ghana cedis under the rights issue and the private placement of ordinary shares through either a single or multiple private placement of non-redeemable, non-cumulative, and convertible preference shares to investors on such terms, including the coupon rate and other modalities, as the directors deem fit, and to procure the listing by introduction of the issued preference shares on the Ghana Stock Exchange, provided that the private placements shall be implemented and completed within 12 months of the close of the rights issue, and the aggregate amount to be raised shall not exceed 250 million Ghana cedis. Will a shareholder please move the motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is James Tay. I hereby move that the directors raise any shortfall in the private placement of ordinary shares through either a single or multiple private placement of non-redeemable, non-cumulative, and convertible preference shares to investors on such terms, including the coupon rate and other modalities, as the directors deem fit, and to procure the listing by introducing of the issued preference shares on the Ghana Stock Exchange, provided that the private placement shall be implemented and completed within 12 months of close of the right issue, and the aggregate amount to be raised shall not exceed 250 million Ghana cedi. Be approved and adopted. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have a seconder online, and the secretary will read out his name.
Mr. Chairman, we have Kenneth Bartimius seconding the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments before the motion is put to the meeting for voting? There being no comments, I declare voting for.
Please, Mr. Chairman, just clarification.
Sure.
Page 4, the left side, the last sentence. Non-cumulative and convertible preference shares. I want further clarification of this particular and convertible preference shares. Is it non-convertible preference shares or convertible preference shares? I want to be sure about the phrase there, because it is non-cumulative and convertible preference shares. If it is convertible preference shares, it means in future this one will be converted into shares. Right? It will lead to the dilution of shareholdings. So I want to be clear about convertible preference shares. It is there as convertible, but what is the real implication of it? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dazi. So the preference shares are open to existing shareholders. That's the first point. And it is convertible, meaning that with conditions that will set in future, it may become ordinary shares, but it's open to existing shareholders as well. The last point I'll make on that is that it comes in only when the rights are not fully subscribed. And even when we do the placement and it's also not fully subscribed. So we may not get to preference shares altogether.
I think also to address the concerns of the shareholder, as you can see from the initial resolutions passed, if the 1 billion is fully subscribed to under the rights issue, we don't move to the next invitation to other investors to take in. And if that is not, then we go to the preference shares. And the convertibility of the preference shares at the end of the day would really feed back into what would have been taken by the ordinary shareholders. So theoretically, it doesn't introduce any further element of dilution, even if it is convertible. But I think the rules of convertibility will be subject to approval. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So very well. There being no further comments, I declare voting open for shareholders.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
Mr. Chairman and shareholders, the results are in. 161 shareholders voted authorizing directors to raise shortfall via private placement of non-redeemable, non-cumulative convertible preference shares to investors, and 10 voted against. Thank you.
I declare the motion carried. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Having successfully passed the resolutions on the capital raise, we have reached the point where we have to amend the bank's constitution to be able to successfully comply with all regulatory approvals to successfully raise the capital. The essence of the proposals to amend the constitution is to make the bank's preference shares more generic and open instead of restricting it to just redeemable preference shares. Accordingly, it has become necessary to amend paragraphs 9, 12, and 13 of the Constitution. In the earlier notice, having left out the amendment of paragraph 9 from the notice to members, we propose a motion for amendment of the terms of the special resolution to include an amendment of paragraph 9 of the bank's constitution. This amendment is supported by paragraph 15 of the 8th schedule of the Companies Act 2019, Act 992. The existing provision of paragraph 9 of the bank's constitution is as follows. As of the day of adoption of this constitution, the company is registered with 2 billion shares of no par value, comprising 1.5 billion equity shares and 500 million redeemable preference shares of no par value. The proposed amendment to paragraph 9 of the bank's constitution will read as follows. The company is registered with 1.5 billion ordinary shares of no par value and 500 million preference shares of no par value. The key change in the existing paragraph 9 of the deletion is the deletion of redeemable from the authorized preference shares, so that the authorized preference shares of the bank are not limited to redeemable preference shares. In the light of the above, will a shareholder please move the motion for amendment of the terms of the special resolution to include an amendment of paragraph 9 of the bank's constitution? It's rather long. I was even going to ask for a coffee break.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll make it short. I so move that the motion be voted on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have a seconder, please? Can a shareholder please second the motion?
Mr. Chairman, my name is Divine Laye. I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments before the motion is put to the meeting for voting? Very well. There being no further comments, I declare voting open for shareholders to vote.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
Mr. Chairman, the results are in. 63 shareholders voted approving the amendment of the terms of the special resolution to include amendment of paragraph 9 of the bank's constitution, whilst 3 shareholders voted against. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I declare the motion duly carried. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now move on to the special business. Having successfully passed the resolution for amendment of the terms of the special resolutions, we now continue with the special business of the day, which is to amend paragraphs 9, 12, and 13 of the Constitution. Members can also find the rationale for amendment of the above paragraphs in the shareholders' circular. Amendment to the bank's constitution, Special Resolution 6A. I hereby propose that directors be authorized to amend paragraph 12 of the bank's constitution by deleting and replacing it with the following. The company may issue preference shares to existing members or any other persons not exceeding an aggregate of 500 million shares as authorized under paragraph 9 of the Constitution. Will a shareholder please move the motion?
Mr. Chairman, my name is Robert Aluti, a shareholder. I move that paragraph 12 of the company constitution be amended. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Can a member please second the motion?
Mr. Chairman, my name is Robert Ando. I do second the motion.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments, please, before I put the motion to the meeting for voting? Good. There being no further comments, I declare voting open for shareholders to vote.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
Mr. Chairman, the results are in, and 147 voted for the amendment of paragraph 12 of the bank's constitution, while 6 shareholders voted against. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I now declare the motion duly carried. Special Resolution 6B. I hereby propose that directors be authorized to amend paragraph 13 of the company's constitution by deleting and replacing it with the following. The commercial terms of any preference shares issued by the company shall be as agreed between the company and the relevant person, and in accordance with applicable law, including any prevailing capital requirement directives of the Bank of Ghana and set out in a relevant agreement. Will a shareholder please move for the motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is James Tay, a shareholder. I hereby move that the directors amend paragraph 13 of the company's constitution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a seconder online, and the secretary will read it out.
Mr. Chairman, we have Vance Kweku Adadi seconding the motion for the amendment to the bank's constitution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, are there any comments before the motion is put to the meeting? There being no comments, I declare voting open.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
Mr. Chairman and shareholders, the votes are in. 155 shareholders voted approving for the amendments of paragraph 13 of the bank's constitution, whilst 8 shareholders voted against. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. I declare the motion carried. We'll now move on to Special Resolution 6C. I hereby propose that directors be authorized to amend paragraph 9 of the bank's constitution by deleting and replacing it with the following. The company is registered with 1.5 billion ordinary shares of no par value and 500 million preference shares of no par value. Will a shareholder please move the motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is James Tay. I hereby move that directors amend paragraph 9 of the company's constitution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a seconder online. The secretary will.
Mr. Chairman and shareholders, we have Priscilla Comfort Ama seconding the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments, please, before the motion is put to the meeting for voting? There being no further comments, I declare voting open.
Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Casting your vote. We have provided two options to enable you partake in the voting exercise in real time. Option 1. Voting via the online platform. Locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign. Then select your voting option. Option 2. Voting via shortcode. *899 *3#. Dial *899 *3# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send.
Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to announce that the vote for the last resolution is in. For the approving the amendment of paragraph 9 of the bank's constitution, 42 shareholders voted for, whilst 2 voted against. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, thank you very much. I declare the motion duly carried. Ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Chairman, I have an observation before you close the meeting. Mr. Chairman, my name is George, the president of the association. With the 70th anniversary, we haven't heard anything about it. Could you please tell us how we're going to celebrate it with the shareholders? Thank you very much.
Mr. MD, would you like to comment on that?
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, and I think our shareholders demand to know how we are going to celebrate a 70-year life of prosperity. Yes, you are very right. We had actually planned to celebrate and launch this thing in May. But given the challenges that we had with the debt exchange program, raising capital, we deferred the launch to August. So we plan to launch this thing, the 70th celebration in August, and it will last throughout the year. It will be a year-long celebration. It includes programs that involve shareholders, involve customers, partners, staff, past staff of the bank, past board executives, and the public at large. So in August, in the month of August, we'll roll out a more detailed program. But we can assure you, we will celebrate the anniversary with all of you for the contributions you have made towards positioning this bank as a leading bank and financial institution in Ghana, for all the hard work and sacrifices you have made, which we are today benefiting from. You will all be involved in this celebration, and please look forward to getting the notices and invitations that will call you to join us celebrate GCB. So it's well on track. We just wanted to get over with a few very critical things like this meeting, and we'll now have a clear view, and we will advise you in due course and celebrate with all of you. Thank you very much for showing interest in this, because it's all about you. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. We are coming close to the end of the annual general meeting. I must, on behalf of my colleagues, say a big thank you to the shareholders, particularly we say the central bank has given us forbearance on capital adequacy. The shareholders have also given forbearance on the non-payment of dividend. We thank them very much, but we would like to assure them that the board is mindful that what they have in this company is an investment, and we shall put in place the necessary measures that will optimize their investments in this bank. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of another successful annual general meeting. And I would like to thank all of you on behalf of the board of directors for attending the meeting and showing interest in the affairs of your bank. Thank you very much. I now declare the meeting formally closed and ask a shareholder, as is our tradition, to offer us a closing prayer. Thank you.
Shall we please bow down here for a short prayer? Eternal Father, we want to thank you for such a successful meeting. You've granted us the grace to endure this long meeting. We pray, O Lord, that you continue to grant the board and management that spirit of wisdom and excellence, that they will continue to synthesize all the ideas, all that have been discussed here, so they will be able to raise GCB PLC to a greater pedestal and to greater profitability. That when we meet the other time, the next time we come together, the story will be different, and we will be smiling. Everlasting Father, we'll be living here, but we are not leaving your presence. We pray that your presence will go with us. So when we get to our various homes and offices, we'll have the grace and the honor to give you the glory and adoration. Thank you, Lord, for having heard us and for answered prayer. Amen.
all media personnel invited kindly stay behind. And for the